Welcome to the First Responders Wealth Network. Our mission is to help all first responders change their mindset towards money and educate how to build long-term wealth through real estate investing. Are you ready?
All right, so today on the show I got Matt Piche. Well, Matt's a podcaster, he's a real estate investor, realtor, and also known as the Fruitful Investor. So I'm excited to have you on because I know you're crushing it in your area and you got a lot of experience and you're flipping homes like a madman. So you got a lot of knowledge to help and share with my listeners.
For sure. Well, thanks for having me on. I'm excited.
Cool, man. So why don't you introduce yourself first and we'll get rolling.
Yeah, so my name is Matt Piche. I became a investor when I was 22 years old. So bought my first property. It was a nice little townhome, and I got into it that way. The same month that I bought my first rental property, I actually quit my job, which was a carpenter. So I had a job as a carpenter, so I quit that, started my own company renovating properties strictly for other real estate investors in my area of the Waterloo region. So I just bought my first property, quit my job, had no money, and spent all my money to buy that property. So I was really taking a leap of faith, but I was young, so I did it. And then the more and more I worked with other investors in the area, helping them renovate their properties for, smart renovation on a budget, they're all saying, Matt, you know exactly what you're doing when it comes to renovating, finding properties. I wish you were a realtor. All of my realtors have no idea about investing and what it takes to be an investor. You already know. So I kind of put two together, and I kind of knew I wasn't going to do carpentry for the rest of my life. I just couldn't do backbreaking labor until I was 55 or whatever, right? So I thought this is a great transition. I might as well jump all in. I have a bunch of clients, a bunch of people want me to do this. So I smashed my real estate license courses and stuff like that in 4 months. I just jammed right through it, became a realtor, kind of the rest is history. And then now we're buying a bunch of properties with joint ventures, which is like another segment that I'm kind of an expert in, I would say, is with the social media marketing and marketing to find money partners. So we're buying now like several properties a month on the regular, which is really cool.
Wow, so several a month. Good for you.
Yeah.
Nice. So did you grow up in the Kitchener-Waterloo area then?
Yeah, most of my life. So I was born up north, like Northern Ontario, Sudbury area. And then we moved down to Kitchener when I was 6. So I spent my whole life here pretty much.
Okay, cool. So basically you're investing in your own backyard and you know the area, you know the market. And
yeah,
I mean, you and I both know it's a great market to be in.
100%. I got lucky that we came here. One of the top markets in Canada for sure, definitely Ontario. So I might as well stick in my backyard and become the expert, which is what I'm all about.
Cool. So you started off with the townhouse and then you kind of transitioned slowly. So what are you focusing on most right now?
Yeah, now it's a bit of everything, but the shift has definitely switched to flips, single family flips. So I built up my equity portion, I call it, my net worth with all my rental properties. That's fantastic. I keep saying I want to slow down on that a little bit and move over to the flips, but we're doing both like crazy. I'm still buying a ton of rental properties. Lots of partners want to come on and jump on, and you can't say no to that. So I'm still buying a lot of rentals, but the focus is definitely changing to flips.
Okay. So how are you getting, I mean, there's a list of questions here I got. So I'm actually, because you've done over like 40 or 50 flips or something like that.
Yeah.
In your backyard. So that's pretty sweet. So I love that you have like your systems down and you got I've heard you talk about each property is literally cookie cutter, like pretty much the same material. Yeah. There's none of that searching and that sort of stuff. And
exactly.
And I'm kind of doing right now. I'm kind of my own systems, but
yeah.
So talk about that. First off, where you find your deals. Why don't we start
there? So start there. So how I find the deals for the flips is off market. So 100% right now in our market is a boom market. We'll see how that's going to turn out with what's going on right now, but it's still, I'm thinking it's still going to be super hot, especially in Southwestern Ontario. So the deals on MLS aren't deals for flipping. They're great deals for buy and hold because you can ride it out and hold it for a couple of years. You'll make money 100%. With flips, you have to buy it right. That's the most important thing for a flip. So we have to go direct to seller. And generally to motivated sellers, people who want to sell for a discount because they have other things going on, they just want to get rid of the house. So we market directly to them for a number of different ways you can do that. So you can do it for ads online, Facebook ads is one of my favorites, flyers to hit specific areas we want. There's a million ways to find motivated sellers, but you have to get those deals from the motivated seller directly. That's the only way to get a good deal. And to make sure that you're going to make money because you're only holding this for 3 months, 3 or 4 months. So a lot can happen in the market in 3 or 4 months, and you have to buy it right as well. So you have to get in and out. That's the biggest thing for flips. You can't let it drag on for 6 months, 9 months, 8 months. I stay away from those kind of bigger projects. Our flips are literally 30 days. Like 30 days is kind of the max. 45, I get pissed off. So like we want to get these out, move. So because of that, because things change so quickly, who knows what can happen, right?
So do you have wholesalers then that you reach out to, or you have a certain team, or do you have a system yourself? Because I saw you had a shitload of flyers in your house and those out. So I mean, obviously you do a lot of that legwork yourself.
Yeah, so a bit of both. So I have wholesalers. I'm actually going to meet a wholesaler right after this podcast to go see a deal in my area. But most of the time, we're getting our own deal. So I'm the wholesaler. I'm mailing out the flyers. I'm doing the Facebook ads. And that's the way I'd like to get it, because obviously I will do business with a wholesaler a bunch of time, but they're making money on that deal as well. They're making 10, 15, 20 grand. I could have had that. I could have taken that off, right? So I'd rather go direct, but it is what it is. If it's a good enough deal, I'll buy it from whoever.
Cool. So what's your system on wholesaling? Because I've never done that. I've been kind of fortunate of just networking and then kind of come across an off-market deal. So what's your system? Where do you get the information? Where do you send these letters?
Yeah, so we just recently really launched this full on, so I'm still getting the grasp of it, but we got a pretty good grasp of it now. But the main things for me are the Facebook ads, because they can fill out all the information on the ad. I'm asking the property address, the condition, how many bedrooms, bathrooms, all the general information, just to get them moving and interested into working with me. So that's a good filter to see who's motivated, who's not. Because if someone's filling all that information out, they're probably motivated, right?
Yeah.
And then the flyers is a really good one as well for me in my local area. So
cool. Nice. So now you acquire the property. Obviously, I've had a number of podcasts and people may or may not know, so we don't want to talk about too much of the closing, but basically you find your motivated seller, you negotiate a price, and then right off the bat, if you're in for 30, 40 days, I mean, that's super quick. I mean, I know mine's taking a little longer than that, but it's a little bit more, it was a full gut down to the stuff. So explain, you have your own team going and you're in and out. So you have full-time teams, or are you contracting? How does that work?
So we still contract out. So I don't want to get into having employees. I don't want to get into that mess. I might at someday, but I'd rather not. Just because there's more legal things to go through, and I don't want that headache. So what we do is I have 2 teams, 2 contracting companies that work for me, and they pretty much work for me full-time all year long. So they're pretty much my employees, but without having to go through all the legal stuff, right? So that's why I like it, because it just keeps us separate. I can hire and fire if I have to at any time, or they can leave whenever they want. So it's better that way for me. But essentially, they're my employees. Okay.
And then obviously you have a system down, so you know exactly how much that's going to cost for whether per foot or the size of house or what you're doing, because you've done it so many times. That pretty much.
Yeah. So being a carpenter trade myself, which is a super good asset for my business, I can go through and within 10 minutes, I know this is going to cost $60K, this is going to cost $70K, etc. And then I kind of relay that price to my guys. And then they either agree or not. Most times they agree, because the prices are fair. I'm not screwing my contractors. I know what it should be, and then we're all happy, right? If I win, they win, we all win, right?
Cool.
So the more you flip, the more you'll know how much things should cost.
Yeah. Now you try and limit it to obviously a 30-day period. Then so you try and stay away from the homes that need kind of that above and beyond work. I guess you're just doing automatic.
Yeah, so I'm a bit of a baby when it comes to flips, which is funny. Just having my carpenter background, you'd think I want to get into crazy things, moving walls. I kind of stay away from all that stuff as much as possible. A couple times, we'll move walls if we have to, if it makes sense. But foundation cracks, if the floor is leaning, stuff like that, structural stuff, I'm out of there. I'm not buying that house.
Really? Okay.
What I'm really interested in is paint, floor, trim, kitchens, out. That's my whole thing. That's my specialty.
Okay.
Just cosmetics.
Cosmetics, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I want the ugliest house from 1970 that hasn't changed from the 70s, but structurally is solid. That's my perfect house.
It's your bread and butter.
Yeah.
Nice. And then, so how do you calculate because I always like talking to people how they kind of justify their pricing and stuff. Do you do the 70% ARV model? Is that pretty much what you work with? Or? Yeah.
So Kitchener's pretty hot. Like I said, more of a hot market. So I use 80% of ARV minus renovations. So I guess it probably does come down to 60, 70 cents on the dollar, but that's how I calculate. So if I go through the house, I know I can get 600, for this property when it's all nice and pimped out. So I do 80% of 600 minus, it's going to be $60K to renovate this. That's the price I give the seller. Very, very simple calculation.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's the calculation or the formula I just wanted you to mention there.
Yeah.
Some people may not be aware of that. Do you
Yeah.
find, do you find that that's shrinking the 80% like now? Because I mean, obviously the last few years things have been kind of going crazy.
Yeah. So I kind of stayed at 80%. That's very fair. I know a lot of other wholesalers and people buying in Manitoba, they're getting 60%
Yeah.
of our minus renovations. Obviously, Kitchener is not Winnipeg and like other lower quality areas. So we have to be more realistic. Because if I went into houses and I gave them an offer of 200,000 on a house that I'm going to sell for 600, 99% of the time they're going to say, "Get the hell out of my house," right? And I won't get any deals. So you have to be realistic.
So I just want to give you a shout out too. I saw on your website there when I was looking some stuff up on it. You
Yeah.
have a course actually on renovating, and
Yeah.
what's pretty cool was, you always talk about your systems, and obviously in any business or even personal life, systems and routine is key. But you use the same products pretty much for every single flip. So do you
Yeah.
use the same, I guess manufacturer, or are you getting all wholesale pricing or contract?
Yeah.
How does
So all of our houses look the exact same, pretty much. I mean, there's some minor variances between them, but almost the exact same. Same floors throughout, same color on the walls, the same accent color walls, the same baseboards, the same doors, everything. We're kind of changing our system actually right now a little bit, just slightly because the times are changing. For example, we used to always do white doors. Now we're painting the interior doors black. Just like a little little thing, right? We might be changing the color. So we used to have like a grayish floor. Now it's probably gonna go to like a blonde wood color. Just little things. However, every house after that though will always have the same flooring, same tile, same bathroom tile. It's very, very boring, but that's what I like.
I like it because it's predictable. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. And then the contractors know exactly what's coming up, right? So they don't have questions. They know right away, oh yeah, Matt's you get this floor. This color is gonna go on this wall, et cetera, et cetera. These baseboards will go down. So they know exactly what to do. And then also when it comes to figuring out how much things should cost, once you do one or two of those houses, you know exactly what this renovation is going to cost. And so will the contractors, right? So it just keeps things so easy.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding too. Just after a couple now, it's you kind of narrow it down, and you get better each one, obviously, as you know. But
Yeah,
it's definitely getting your system down
for sure.
and getting everyone on the same page. Cool. So once everything's complete, are you doing multifamily, or is it just strictly single family kind of flips?
Yeah, so we're doing a lot more multifamily now. So when I first started off, it was only single family for like 7-8 years when I started off. Then the market kind of changed. Things blew up. Single family became too expensive to just do single family.
Right.
So we got into more multifamily now because everybody's charging for the single family and nobody's paying attention to multifamily now because it's only investors, right? So we can still get good deals there. So like, for example, we bought a triplex downtown Kitchener last year, had really crappy tenants. So we kicked them out. We fully renovated it, refinanced it, lucked out. That was a really good deal. We're doing another one just like that right now. Buy another 3 townhomes, kick them all out, renovated it, etc. So we're getting more to that. And then also right now we're building 15 units downtown Kitchener, 15 townhomes. So we're getting to new builds as well. So kind of going everywhere right now.
That's all right. That's all right. So I just want to go back. So the multifamily, are you selling that as a turnkey with tenants filled, or are you selling it empty so the new investors can come in?
Yeah. So the multifamily we're keeping most time, like 9 times out of 10. I'm going to buy it with a partner. We're going to renovate the whole thing, refinance it, and then keep it. So the kind of the same play we're doing with like the duplex conversions or even with the single families, we're going to keep as a rental property. However, with the new build I mentioned, that one's going to be a sale. We're going to build it, put tenants in it, and then sell it to an investor for a nice turnkey package.
That's a good deal. So so whereabouts in Kitchener is that? You said down.
That new build's like right downtown. So a sweet area right downtown, which is great.
Cool. So how does that process? That's a whole learning process for you?
Yeah, I'm learning that myself, man. This is my first one, so I'm going through all the city meetings and all the drawings with the architect, all these things. I'm learning it myself. But having the background in construction, we're picking it up pretty easy. But yeah, it's new for me too.
So do you have partners that are a little more seasoned in that area?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I got 2 partners that are doing it right now and have done one before. And then we also brought on a builder who does these all the time. So it's a nice partner, a nice team we got formed for the new builds for the multifamily. So I'm just kind of sitting back. I found the deal and my responsibility was to find the money partner. So I brought the money in. I'm letting them kind of deal with it now. So I'll sit back and learn and watch the ride. Yeah.
That's what I love about JV partnerships sometimes. I mean, it can be like, two people, like maybe what you're doing,
Yeah,
your buying holds, but even, everyone has their own skill and just
yeah, for sure.
hold that so you can kind of build your team. That's cool.
Yeah,
Nice. Well, good luck with that.
yeah, I'm excited.
Okay. So, and then back to your flips then. So you usually for the flips, you'll burr them or you'll flip them to yourself, so to speak.
Yeah.
And those will be full kind of with a JV partner or however way you're doing it.
Mhm.
You'll never sell those empty, or you'll never flip those empty.
Like the straight single family flips are always sales to like the regular market, so they're always regular sales.
Okay, but the
Yeah, it's just a multifamily we're keeping. Yeah,
okay, cool. And then do you always stage your houses before you put them on the market?
yeah, 100%. Every house gets staged almost no matter what. It just super smart decision, great investment, and just elevates the unit, makes it look so much better. The other reason why I like staging is that it might hide certain things. So we don't want to hide like major defects and screw people, but it hides the attention of, oh, maybe that wall's not as smooth as it could be. Maybe that baseboard is a little wonky or whatever. Just little dumb cosmetic things. The staging really just takes the attention away from those things. Because I've sold properties before where they're empty and they were still perfect. Like we renovate really good, houses look amazing, and still people will be like, oh, what's up with that doorknob? Or like whatever. It's just stupid stuff. Well, yeah, once it's staged, perfect. Never hear anything. All cash offers, no conditions. I like it.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Well, then I'm just trying to think of the next thing that you do. So how much would that even cost to stage? I've never staged before. Was that a couple?
Yeah. So I have a great stager and we give her so much business that it's $2,000 every time. That stage is almost the whole house. So main floor and upstairs. Basement's never really staged. If you want the basement also staged, that's, I don't know, about $3,000. But there's really, most times, no reason to stage a basement. People get it after seeing the other two floors. But yeah, it's $2,000 per house, which is a great deal. Totally worth it.
Okay, now I'm gonna kind of dive into your little personal financial situation here.
Yeah.
What do you do with that money? Do you live on that money, or do you pivot that and kind of reinvest it into other projects?
Yeah. So now I'm also a full-time realtor. So I guess I live off the realtor income and then the flipping income, which is much greater because it's a much better avenue.
Yeah.
We take all the profits and then we private lend it to other investors like myself, other flippers. So I'm living off that as well. So lots of income streams going on, which is really great. Obviously, you need that. You want to be a successful entrepreneur. But for the flips, pretty much all the money we make just goes right into private lending. I just funnel it right in because it's all in my corporation. So we flip in the corp, lend out from the corp. All the taxes stay nice and neat in there. And then, we enjoy the benefits of private lending.
Nice. I'm starting to kind of really enjoy the passive side too. And that's what I'm focusing on too, dumping my earnings from the flips into the passive and really build that up. And it's funny, like everyone talks about different income streams, which is huge, but I love real estate and obviously, you do too. And there's so many income streams that you can do within real estate. And, and can kind of diversify within it. So
100%.
I love about real estate. There's so many avenues you can go or too.
Fantastic business.
So what do you suggest to new investors or new people looking into doing flips?
Flips. Okay. So you need to be an expert in this, I think, even before diving in. You need to have done at least, 3 or 4 deals, like buy and hold passives and renovations in those properties before you do this. Because we can make mistakes all day long in long-term real estate, and it's really no big deal. I mean, if you make a mistake and you overpay or you over-renovate, that sucks. No big deal. You just hold on to it for 3, 4, 5 years and then sell it. You're still going to win. You'll make money. You can hold on through the mistakes. In a flip, if you make a mistake, you overpay, you over-renovate, you're going to lose your shirt right away. And you'll go under. So if you don't have an income there or experience and you start making mistakes, like it's really bad. So I usually say straight up, if you're a new investor, I'd rather you not go into flipping. Obviously, you cannot listen to me and go right in. Cool. I'd say it's probably safer for you to focus on that buy and hold, build up that net worth, that equity. That's your real wealth before you go into here and venture on. Because if you make a mistake in flipping, but you have, a $2 million net worth, okay, no big deal. If you lost 30K, 50K, 100K, that sucks, but you'll live. You have a $2 million net worth. If you have a $0 net worth and you start flipping and you lose $100,000, like you'll never recover, right? So that's kind of what I would say to new people looking to flip. It sounds sexy, it sounds cool. You're seeing it on HGTV. I know it looks cool, but just wait. You really got to be an expert before you dive into this area.
That's awesome. That's great advice. I agree 100%. it's very easy to lose money in a flip. You can overspend.
Yes.
You can, if you don't know what you're doing, the contractors can kind of take you out.
Oh my God, yeah, 100%. I've been there so many times, but thankfully they were on buy and hold, right? Where the project took 4 months. I was like, God damn it, if that took 4 months on a flip and then 3 months to sell, oh my, right? That's like a whole year project. You're gonna lose money.
Yeah. No, totally. Awesome, man. Well, how can people get a hold of you? You got a lot of great stuff. I know you have a podcast.
Yeah.
Why don't you let people know about yours?
Yeah, you just search up the Fruitful Investor on Google. You'll find me everywhere. Kind of the main places you'll find me is YouTube. So I post 2 videos a week. So if you just type in the Fruitful Investor on YouTube, you'll find me. If you type that into Instagram or Matt Piche on Instagram, you'll find me there. The 2 most active places I am are Instagram and Facebook. Or sorry, Instagram and YouTube. That's where I post the most.
Okay, cool. All right, awesome, man. Well, all the best. I know we're in some strange times right now. It's a lot of uncertainty, but just keep hammering out. And one thing I love about the investor world is everyone's supporting everyone. Like everyone's reaching out, whether it be links to help for tenants to pay, to off-market deals and that sort of thing. So
yeah, exactly.
I wish you all the best and stay safe too.
Awesome. You too, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to rate and review on iTunes. Also, check out our website at 911wealthnetwork.com or contact Dave directly at 911wealthnetwork.com. Stay safe out there.